Hello everybody, my name is Guido Verhoef and today I am comparing two electric balloon inflators. Since many years the Conwin Precision Air was the only electric automatic sizing balloon inflator out there in the market, quality wise. Now since a couple of years there's a new machine called the Lagenda out there. I get a lot of people sending me messages asking me which one I prefer and which one is the best. I thought it's about time for a little test, a little comparison. So, on one hand, we have the Conwin Precision Air, and this machine is known as being the Rolls-Royce under the inflators. Since a couple of years, there's a new machine out there on the market called the Lagenda. And it has a lot of features, and actually if this is a Rolls-Royce, you could say this is a Ferrari maybe. The question is if it really is as good as the Precision Air and if it has the same quality. So let's check that. You see the outlets are not push on like with the Precision Air, but you have to screw them on. And the small adapters for the 5-inch. And also this machine comes with a foot pedal, but actually I'm not going to use that. That's for a little bit later. Okay, first size-wise, they're approximately the same size and also approximately the same weight. The Lagenda is 1.4 kilos lighter, but it's in the same range anyway. If I look at the bag, for instance, it's a solid, really nice bag. Both cases, soft case. I like actually the compartment here, a little bit bigger than this one, a little smaller. But other than that, this one is a slightly smaller, which is nice if you travel a lot with it. But more or less it's also in the same range. Extra nice with this bag is it also has the handles, which makes it a little bit more comfortable to carry sometimes, and it has the metal parts here, the metal shackles, and this is plastic, so sometimes after using it a lot actually it gave some problems, so it can come undone a little bit more easy, but still both sharp. Now of course depends also a little bit on the color you prefer, but both machines look sharp. So how about the performance? The Precision Air has automatic thermal overrides. With other words, when the machine becomes too hot with inflation, it automatically shuts down. Which is nice, but if you use a lot of balloons, and this is actually also the biggest challenge for this machine, if you inflate a lot of balloons on a big project, then after a while it really builds up a lot of heat, and it becomes very hot and it will shut down, and you have to cool it down for a little while before you can continue. That's a shame. That's the best thing about this machine probably, because it has a built-in ventilator. It goes from all sides and it keeps the balloons completely cool, so it never overheats. But it also has the biggest disadvantage, because it always makes noise. I'll demonstrate it. You hear it always has a constant sound because of the built-in ventilator. Let's talk about some features first. This machine has a digital panel, just the same as this one, and you can actually set the size you want. For instance, 2 seconds, and you can add the tenth of a second, so every balloon is inflated exactly the same size as you want it, which is very important and vital with making balloon decor. The same goes for this machine. So it also has the Precision Air system inside. Both have a counter. So every time you hit the pedal, it actually counts, so you know exactly how much balloons you inflate. The biggest difference here is that this machine, the Lagenda, also has like a backspace button, which is really nice. It's a nice little feature, because if you inflate, if you have to inflate 100 balloons and one balloon pops, you don't have to think about the counter. You just put the backspace button and you can continue. Another little feature is actually this machine has an on-off switch. It's actually nice. Of course, here for the ventilation system, if you don't need it, it's nicer to turn it off. But with this machine, sometimes if you have it in a workplace, you always have to plug it somewhere, and instead of just unplugging it, you can just use the button, which is a little bit nicer. The little adapters are a little bit different than these. Personally, it depends on what you like, which ones are better or which one you prefer. They're both solid material, they don't break. The old ones of the old version, they were not so nice. They actually broke pretty quickly, but they made a newer version which is really nice and it works nicely. What I personally also like is that you can just put this one on, so you just clip it on like this, and here you have to turn, which is a little bit more work, but on the other hand, maybe it's just a little extra thing. Then the next difference in the two machines is this machine can only inflate the same size on both outlets. This machine actually has the same as what the dual split in the series of Conwin has, which is really nice because you can actually change the size, the setting of one outlet. So you can inflate two balloons different sizes, which is really nice, and I don't understand why they didn't build this feature in the Precision Air, because if they have the technology to do it in dual split, I think it would be pretty easy to add this also to the Precision Air. Another big difference is this. Here you see a little button. What is that button? It's actually the same as with the foot pedal. Instead of using the foot pedal, you can also push this button to inflate the balloons. Well, I found out it's actually one of the best features of this machine, because what happens if you have a foot pedal, you inflate the balloons, and every time you step on the foot pedal, you use your balance to push on the button. After a few hours, if you have to inflate a lot of balloons, you will get tired. Here, if you use not the foot pedal but the hand button, it's the same movement because you already put on the balloons. So with the palm of your hand, you just push it and automatically it inflates the balloons, and you can have stability on the floor, so you're perfectly in balance with both feet on the floor, which is really good also for your posture, and it makes you less tired after inflating a lot of balloons. But also this machine comes with a foot pedal. About the foot pedal, I think this one has a little bit better system to plug it on, but this one can come undone a little bit more easy. It's sometimes with some machines it breaks down a little bit, but this foot pedal is in my opinion, a better quality, because this one can create some problems. I had one that actually came undone here. I had to fix it a little bit. So it depends a little bit on the how often you use it, of course, the wear and tear. But I think this screw pedal is a little bit better than this one. So let's look at the performance of both machines. They use more or less the same amount of watts from the power grid, 1360 watts versus 1320 watts. This machine produces 84 decibels. This machine produces 84 decibels. But the biggest difference is the speed of the machines. This machine inflates a 11-inch balloon in 3.55 seconds. This one actually in 2.52 seconds. So it's a full second faster, which is always nice. So it seems that the Lagenda has a lot more features and is a little bit faster. But how about the technical malfunctions? Well, it's a little bit premature to really come with conclusions on the long term, because it's only been out there for 2 years. But until this moment we tested around 10 machines intensively, and they held up pretty well, but there are a little bit more problems than with the Precision Air. The biggest problem with the Precision Air is still the overheating. With both machines they sometimes have electrical problem, but it's very uncommon. The biggest problem with the Lagenda is sometimes the inconsistency in sizing with some machines, and then it needs to be fixed. Both machines actually have an option to calibrate the machines on the inside, which is pretty nice. But we have to see how that holds up with the Lagenda on the long term. So what about the service? Conwin has a very good website with a lot of information and a good service when the machines break down. It's guaranteed for 2 years with normal tear and wear, and the only problem sometimes is if you have to repair the machine, you never know how long it will take before you get the machine back. So it was a lot worse than it is now, so they're getting a little bit faster, but it can take you up from 1 month till 12 months to get a machine back, is my experience. On the Lagenda whatsoever, you are without any luck, because you don't get a guarantee on this machine whatsoever if you buy it straight from the supplier. This machine comes from the USA and has a lot of distributors worldwide, so it's easy to get the machine and it's reliable. This machine comes from China and has only here and there some distributors who are carrying it, so it's more difficult to find it. But if you buy it straight from China, you don't get any guarantee. On the website it's actually stated that they don't need to give it because it's good enough. Okay. So if you buy it straight from China, of course it's more cheap, but you have no guarantee. Well, if you buy it at a distributor, it's the problem of the distributor to actually fix the problem. It's actually easier to open, so it depends on where you buy it, but personally I think it's always good to buy the machine from a distributor, so they can also help you and you get the extra service when there's a problem with the machine, which always comes in handy. So what about the price? Well, the Precision Air goes around, I found prices in the States around $1,250, $1,350, in Europe for 995, so almost 1,000 euros. The Lagenda, on the other hand, you can find in Europe for like 599, 600 euros to 700 euros. In the States, it started with $700 up to $850. So if you look at the price, the Lagenda became a serious competition. With the Precision Air, it's proven quality, you know what you get, but you also have to pay for it. With the Lagenda, we still have to see where it goes, but it's getting pretty close, and I'm very curious how both machines will hold up also in the future, and if they are going to be improved a little bit better, because I think there's still work to do for both companies. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.